أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ومن أحسن قولا من دعا إلى الله وعمل صالحا وقال إنني من المسلمين. So today we are going to talk about goal setting. What is the first goal we have to accomplish in this life? I have created the jinn and the humans to worship me, Dariyat. So this is the meaning. What is the meaning of our life? The meaning of our life is just to connect with Allah, because we are from Allah and we go back to Allah. So this should always be our priority when we want to plan anything. But it's so important to plan and to make our existence on this planet a happy experience, because we say, Ya Allah, bless us with in this dunya and in the akhirah, so we can have a happy life on planet Earth, and we also, while we're living on planet Earth, do all the things Allah asks us to do. So inshallah, so when we meet our Lord, He give us granted a beautiful place in Jannah. So how can we be happy on this planet? Connecting with our dreams. It's so important to have a dream. It's so important to have something on this dunya where you really feel like you want to get to it, or you want to accomplish your dream. But you know, sometimes with my clients, if somebody maybe, like, especially with clients who have depression, when I ask what makes you happy, normally they will struggle. They say, I don't know what makes me happy. And it is just really so it is just really important to connect with our dreams. Like the Quran talked to us about the dreams of the Prophet, the dream of Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam, the dream of Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam. So it is really important to connect with our dream. Like Prophet said, the dreams are the unconscious way to the unconscious mind. The dream, yeah, the dream is the unconscious path to our the dream is like it helps us to find our way to the unconscious mind. Yeah, so the dreams normally guide us to what really inside our soul and in our heart. So it's also important to connect with your dreams, and maybe to have a dream diary. To have a dream diary where you write down your dreams and to connect with them. So writing is so important. Allah said in the Quran, الَّذِي عَلَّمَ بِالْقَلَمِ. Allah taught with the pen. So to have the habit of writing things down is so important. To write down what is your priority in this life. What do you want to spend your life doing? What makes you happy? Yeah, and it's important to be selfish and put yourself first, because if you are not happy, you cannot make anybody happy. And it's important to have a dream board somewhere where you can just write what is important for you. You can just buy yourself a board and stick it in the wall and write like your priorities in life, what you dream, like and maybe a very nice car like Tesla. This is my dream. Yeah, a big house. Just write things down and ask Allah. Say, Allah, make my dreams come true. And it is important to do this with the children. Get your children a dream board, because it will help them to focus in life. And even to build the relationship with Allah. You can say, or you can ask Allah whatever you want, and you can stick it on your dream board, and Allah will answer your prayer. And we just we help the children to focus and to believe they have a Lord who they can ask and who will answer their prayer. So we are a body, a mind, a soul, and emotions. So when we are planning for our like goals, we need to put our body, our physical body in mind. How can we look about our physical body? How can we enrich our mind? By reading maybe like interesting books, useful books. How can we build our relationship with Allah spiritually? How can we get closer to Allah? How can we control our emotions? Yeah. So you put down these important point and see how you can get there, and what motivates you when you have a goal. Yeah, how can you get to your goals? You know, maybe you can have an idea, a very interesting idea, and you want to get to this idea. So you write a plan. How can you get there? Always it is important to be focused, yeah, and to have this enthusiasm, to be enthusiastic about something. Yeah, you need to be motivated. But when you are inspired, like from inside your heart and your soul, you want to get from A to B. When you have this desire from the inside of you, you don't even need to be motivated. You will just do it. That's why it's important to connect with our dream and to know what do you really want in this life. So like how to motivate yourself every day, start every day fresh. Accept your imperfection. No harsh judgment. Look at your progress. Like sometimes we are very kind to other people. We are very kind to our friends. But it is important to be kind to ourselves before we are kind to other people. It is kind to be to ourselves, because we can like have this to have compassion with yourself. Always have compassion for yourself, and always see how the little baby steps you do. Say, yes, I am improving, I am moving to where I want to be. It's so important to know where you want to go. Yeah, it's so important to have a big dream. Always have big dreams. Don't say, oh well, it is impossible for me to get maybe a Tesla. Nothing is impossible in the eye of Allah. Always have a big dream. And even like taking action can be just by asking Allah. This can be an action. Just I will ask Allah. I will have a very big dream, and I will ask Allah, and I will have complete trust in Allah. This is another level of a very deep belief. So when you dream, it is so important to write it down. الذي علم بالقلم. Allah talked about the pen in the Quran. He taught with a pen. So it's important to write things down and to be specific, measurable, attainable, time-bound. Time-bound is so important. Yeah, it is so important to make a plan. Yeah, and to make your plan workable. And to get the support you need. So if you need maybe to memorize the Quran, put yourself in a group of sisters who are doing this. Always put yourself with those who want to go where you want to go. This just makes the journey a lot easy. So when you plan something, don't do it really high and don't do it really low. Maybe just right. Yeah, just right. Something you can attain, so you can do it all the time. Name what you want to do and picture yourself reaching it. This is like in psychology. Sometimes when you say, oh, this is so difficult for me, even the word you say, it will create the reality. Say, yes, I can get there. And imagine yourself there. And just go for it. But it's also important to give yourself a pat on the back when you get there. Celebrate your success. You know, sometimes when the children achieve something, we give them a little rewards. It's important to do this for ourselves too. Sometimes sisters say, oh, I don't have time. But time is illusion. How can you manage your time? By prioritizing, like putting priority to things, yeah? Scheduling, delegation by, you know, the children, sometimes we are at the service, give your children tasks to do. So we teach, especially the boys, we want to teach our boys, our men, how to be responsible. We are at a time when men are so unresponsible. So give your son little jobs to do in the house, and that will free some time for you. Always organize wherever you're going to sit and do your work, your desk, your room. Reduce interruption. Yeah, be assertive, and it's so important to be very protective with your time. Where did the time go? What is the time wasted for you? For me, social media, you know, mobile and social media just take all the time. So it is so important for me to manage that. There is time when I just put my phone away and I don't even look at it, just to make myself away from it, because it just takes the time. Being busy is different from being productive. See, what is your priority? Have a plan. So learn to say no. It's so important to have boundaries. We're going to talk about boundaries because they are just so important to have boundaries in our life. So write what is important for you now. Prioritize your list. Carry a notebook. Always write down what is important for you. Plan each day in advance and plan your week in advance. Spend time at the beginning of each week to plan your success. Yeah. So always have a plan for your week. That make things consolidate for you. That make you more focused. And boundaries. Boundaries with your time. It's so important to have boundaries, spatial boundaries, sexual boundaries, verbal boundaries, and it just make time more. It helps you to get where you want to do. Some people don't get what personal boundaries are about and how to deal with them. A lot of people don't understand about personal boundaries, but it's so important to protect your time. It's so important to have to also look at life compass, so you are not like workaholic. So work is not only your priority. Have a plan. Give time to your friends, to your physical well-being, to your children, to your relationship with Allah, to your relation with money, to your community, to your environment, to education, to your family, relationship with husband. So like moderation, live with moderation. Yeah. So what is so important for you? Your values. It's so important to know your values. So if family is important, write goals. I want to do 1, 2, 3, and in each goal write an action plan. Yeah, so like priority, like for your body, how do you look after your body? Write goals and write action plan. Your relationship with Allah, write goals and write action plans. Just when we write things down, it makes it happen. So it is not all in the head. So we said we're going to talk about boundaries, and the Quran talks to us about boundaries, like Surah An-Nur. He said, like the winners are those who are very focused in their prayers. So that is like your relationship with Allah. They don't talk nonsense. Your relationship with people. They give charity. They guard their chastity, even like your sexual boundaries. So boundaries in people, in mosque, in your families. So like in Surah An-Nur, Allah is saying to us, don't visit other people without, don't enter people's home without their permission. And if you knock into somebody's house, then they ask you to, they can't let you in, just go. So it's like this, the Quran is a very beautiful religion, because it's teaching us boundaries and people like privacy. You like in the Arab world, this is more than like England. You can just go and knock on somebody's at any time without like asking permission. Yeah, so it's so important to mind your boundary. And if you're busy, it's okay to tell your friend you are busy. And in Surah Al-Ahzab, when the companion went to the Prophet's house and they stayed long time, so Allah revealed in the surah Don't enter the Prophet home without an invitation. And if you are invited, when you finish the meal, just go. Don't sit down to chat and to have a conversation. The Prophet does not like this, but he's shy, and Allah is not shy from the truth. So Allah is teaching the companion not to go in and waste time wasting, into sitting in somebody's house for hours. You invite a friend to a meal, and they sit maybe for 5-6 hours, and you are embarrassed to tell them, well, I have other things to do. And the Quran is telling us, don't do this. Yeah. So, you know, subhanallah, maybe if you invited people and they come, maybe make the most of it. Just say, okay, come on, let us make like a halaqa. Let us do some Quran. Let us just do some, use this time in a useful way. Even your relationship with your children in your own home. Yeah, Allah is saying in Surah An-Nur, there are times in the day, like before Fajr, in siesta time, after Duhur time, if you want to rest, after Salat al-Isha, this time, even for your own children, they are not allowed to enter you without permission. They just can't come into this. This is time for you to heal and to build your strength and to build your body. Like for me, I'm a single mom. I'm doing everything for my children. After 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, I say to my children, this is mommy's time. Yeah, this is my own time. I just want to chill, to sit down, read a book, or just even go to sleep. So it's so important to look after your well-being. And even like boundaries even with the eyes, to lower your gaze. Like when a woman talks to a man, we shouldn't really be looking at the eyes, because you can say a lot with the eyes. And the Quran is just like, it make life easy. It just makes things easy from the start. Yeah. And what we eat in Surah An-Nur, Allah is telling us exactly where we can eat. Yeah, you can eat in your homes, on your dad, in your moms, with your brothers, with your sisters, with your aunties, with your uncles, or in your friend's house. You can eat like as a group. So it's like I say to my children, why did the Quran explain to us exactly where we can eat? That means, like, you know, in England, the culture of eating in restaurants, we can only, from this ayah, I say to my children, you can only eat in a restaurant if you have to. If you only have to eat in a restaurant, then you can, if there is a necessity. Why? Because even the act of eating is a sacred act. The food go into your body, it turn into a blood, it give you energy to worship Allah. So it is so important to know who cooks this food. If the cook who cooks this food is like somebody who worship a cow, can you imagine the energy he's putting on this food? So if this is just like a little bit about boundaries, and the boundaries of who we can marry those who are the righteous. Even if they are poor, Allah will bless them with his blessings. So the Quran just told us about boundaries in general. So just to wrap up, like, if you can make a little plan how to look about your physical body, because this is a gift from Allah. As long as you are alive on this planet Earth, look after your physical body. Do everything you can to make your body strong and healthy, so you can worship Allah in the proper way. You can make sujood till the day we die, inshallah. How can you look after your mind? Like always, you know, if we try to understand this Quran, we won't have enough time till the day we die. Every day, try to explore, try to understand an ayah, try to understand the surah, try to memorize. How can you build your relationship with Allah in a spiritual way? How can you look after your emotions so they don't take over? Emotional intelligence, how can you build this? And when you plan this for yourself, you think with your head, you think with your heart. The heart is so important. They are like 40,000 neurons in the heart. So the heart is the brain and the soul. When Allah said they have heart with which they don't understand. So it is important to connect with our heart. And when you make your plan, think with your heart, reflect with your heart. How can I improve my relationship with my Lord? From your heart, what is missing for you? How can you look after your physical body? What is missing in your life now to make your body strong? How can you connect with your emotion and control your emotion and don't let your emotion take you over? Yeah, so write a little plan, and every day write a little plan, and every week, maybe every Friday or in the weekend, sit down and reflect about your week. How can you organize your week ahead, plan ahead? And Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.